A parliamentary inquiry into allegations of maladministration, financial mismanagement and wasteful expenditure at the Road Accident Fund has been widely welcomed. The Standing Committee on Public Accounts, SCOPA for short, has decided to establish a probe after failed attempts to get information from the board. The RAF's CEO, Collins Letsoalo, has also been suspended. Let's talk more on this now and what this inquiry means for RAF and in particular the legal professionals, including the victims of road accidents on South African roads. And we speak to the Association for the Protection of RAF Victims. The spokesperson there is Peter de Bruyn. Mr. de Bruyn, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. I want to start with a direct quote from you where you say this is a massive victory, not just for your organization, but for every victim who has suffered silently under a broken and unaccountable RAF system. Tell us more about why you feel that this is a major breakthrough.
For a number of fundamental reasons. Most of all, there are several constitutional Bill of Rights attained in the Road Accident Fund Act, and that has for the last few years not been applied. And the consequence of that road accident victims did not have equal access to the courts, proper access to legal support, equal treatment in terms of bodily integrity, etc. But besides that, this is much more than just corruption by a rogue CEO, a delinquent board. This has been 10 years of systemic breakdown of an agency created in terms of the Constitution, governed by the Road Accident Fund Act. And the rules have been broken by the executive and the suspended RAF CEO, as if this was their own organization, as if this was their own budget. And in the process, they broke laws, they made laws as if they are the parliament themselves, they ignored high court orders, and they basically did exactly what they wanted to do. And the fact that they've remained unchecked and ungoverned for a decade is the only thing that's worse than how they broke the law.
Yeah. Tell us why you believe that this inquiry matters to every South African.
This is, we believe, the single biggest success of the current government of national unity, where a portfolio committee chaired by another party, where the ANC and the DA and Rise Mzansi sat together, decided what is correct, and collaborated to defeat people in a vote in terms of this investigation, and did this in the interests of South Africa. So besides that success, this is putting poor, injured South Africans who needs the support that the RAF, in terms of the best possible coverage for your loss of income, available. And I mean, Eskom has an impact on your electricity. SAA has an impact on whether you could fly or not and the price of plane tickets. RAF literally killed people. 70,000 claims a year involving about 500,000 people affected. Wait for 5 to 8 years for the legal, constitutional, promised compensation as regulated by law. Now, if you are sick and very injured, many of the claimants die, lose their homes, lose their families, whilst the RAF wastes half of the time of 4, 5, 6 years by dragging their feet, not doing their jobs. This is going to save thousands of lives, in addition to upholding the Constitution and the rule of law.
Do you believe that lawyers who operate in this space of the Road Accident Fund are without blame?
Yes and no. In every profession, teachers, policemen, educators, even religious clergymen, there are always bad apples. And statistics in terms of attorneys are quite clear. It is a minute fraction of 0.5% of attorneys having to be scrapped from the roles that they work on. Now, this is far lower than the percentage in most other job families. So, Mr. Collins Letsohalu, the now suspended CEO of the RAF, used millions and millions of fuel levy taxpayers' rands to drive a misinformation campaign for years now, blaming attorneys and experts and everyone else besides himself, his defunct board, his incompetent executive management for not doing their jobs. In fact, the reality is, without attorneys in South Africa who pre-funds all the medical expenses, the obtaining of hospital records, the obtaining of accident records, to the tune of 100 to 150,000 rand a claim, are paid on behalf of the claimant, the public, in advance in order to comply with the Road Accident Fund Act. And if these attorneys did not do this, 90% of all claimants would never have received compensation as per the Act. Now, how attorneys can be made out to be the boogeyman is beyond myself. So the reality is, and this is what's happening now in this SCOPA investigation, for the first time, the facts and not the false narrative driven by millions of rands in a false information campaign has surfaced. And it took SCOPA very quickly to realize that they've been fed lies to Parliament, to Minister Barbara Creecy, to the Deputy Minister. And all that's happening now is that the House of Cards has finally started to fall down.
Mr. Letsoalo has been on this show several times, and at every instance, he has said everything he's done has been to the growth and prosperity of the Road Accident Fund. Of course, the inquiry will tell us whether his words are indeed words that should be believed. But the people that we have not had the opportunity to talk to is the board. At what point do you believe that their feet should be held to the fire? Because surely one person, one man, cannot be responsible for the collapse, as you put it, of the RAF. And what role should the Department of Transport, because that's who the RAF sits under, what role should they be playing? What role have they played in this whole issue or debacle around the RAF?
Well, first of all, in terms of the suspended CEO of the RAF, he has repeatedly made false statements in high courts. He has repeatedly made false claims to parliamentary committees, and he has repeatedly and openly lied to the public. For example, he claims that only 3% of all claims are not being dealt with by the RAF annually. But what he omits to let Parliament and oversight committees know is that by using an unlawful board notice as if they are the Parliament making rules, and quite obviously that's absurd and not lawful, they decline about 95% of all lawful claims submitted to them. They simply send it back. So how Collins Letsohalu can say he's doing this in the interest of public is absolutely a total lie and misrepresentation. Then secondly, the board is equally to be held accountable. And they are definitely not going to stand the test of time because they are absolutely in cahoots with him. They had meetings without minutes. They decided in some instances they are not willing to sign documents. They let the CEO sign documents. He's a paid official. He should just execute that law. So he acted as judge and jury on many issues, and this is under the board's watch. And I hope and I predict that no one in this board will survive this inquiry. And then lastly, the Department of Transport has the oversight over what this agency does. But they are also really not in the clear that they should have managed the CEO. They should have blown the whistle. They should have made presentations to SCOPA and the Portfolio Committee. And I predict that there will be massive fallout with the management executive of the Road Accident Fund, the layer of execs below Collins Letsoalo, the same as with probably the whole board, and there might even be some legal fallout in terms of senior officials in the Department of Transport. However, there are good news. There are solutions. There's a 10-point plan to solve this. This can save 400 to 500 million rand a month, which eventually can catch up the backlogs, as well as possibly reduce the fuel levy. Now, why previous governments weren't interested in this is absolutely absurd. However, the current government of national unity and the members of that unity has now come together, say enough is enough. Let's start fixing the RAF to be an agency of excellence, which it used to be.
Pieter de Bruyn, thank you very much for your time. He is the spokesperson for the organization. It's called the Association for the Protection of RAF Victims.